is I'm going to show bits and pieces of a short webinar that talks about leadership to do leadership lessons during COVID. So give me just a second to get this queued up and share the screen. Oops, that didn't work. Got to share screen first. And then we'll stop it periodically and talk about what's happening. So where did it go?
Right there.
I see your desktop.
Yeah. So okay. So, okay, Jean, you want to come and teach me how to do my computer now? Christian, where did it go? My whole thing went away. Yeah, see, I have it next door. Kristen has to come over here and tell me what I did wrong. I don't have, like, this is here, but it doesn't have, my other screen went away. I shared, it was on a different, okay, let's see. That's not it.
For the first semester, my 14-year-old was doing homeschool, so I felt like I was Comal County School's IT department.
I can't find Stop Share. That's the problem. Can't find any of that.
You might want to move your cursor to the top.
There we go. Here we go. There it is. Okay, still can't find the screen share, but okay, let's try that again.
So you're sharing your screen. So just click on that top one and max it.
Can y'all see or hear that?
Can see it, can't hear it.
Y'all can't hear that?
Nope.
Can y'all hear it now?
No.
Nope.
Okay.
There should be this option to share computer audio as well.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna try to.
Here.
Oh. There's my screen. Okay. So I'm gonna stop sharing. Okay. And then share this one.
Yeah.
I shared the wrong screen a while ago. Okay. Now what do y'all see?
See the YouTube video.
Okay. Can you hear it now?
No audio.
No audio. Okay. Well, that's fine. We'll just talk. So what he was talking.
Have you ever seen Mystery Science 3000? They watch movies and they sit there and make their own words up as they go.
There you go. We can do that. So one of the things that we're talking about in the video was, how did you move your business to be bigger, brighter, bolder during 2020 to stand out and for people to find you when you were not able to do your normal things. So kind of, what did you do to move your business forward through COVID, I guess is the question. So Hermie, I don't know, with y'all had so much business with so many home selling and stuff. Did you do anything different to promote the Lone Hunter out there?
I use Zoom a lot. So, I bought into that right away to make sure that I was accessible, because I gave our clients the opportunity to Zoom or call. Obviously, we weren't meeting anybody in person at that time. So I gave them the ability to do that. But I did a lot of just social media, and just kind of calming the fears. And I try to be the voice of reason. I talked about forbearance when that was happening. So I just wanted to lend my expertise, but just being present in the social media, really Facebook. I haven't mastered Instagram or LinkedIn or any of the other ones, but just being part of other groups and stuff like that to just kind of create calmness, because our business was still booming. People were still buying, people were still refinancing. And so basically that's what I did. And I just kind of focused on that because we weren't going to an office. So I had extra time.
Yeah.
So what could I do with that extra time? So that's kind of what I did with it, is to try to use social media more.
Michael, I know you kind of pivoted your whole business because you really started the speaker part of it and the leadership training.
Yeah,
What?
we really, when we joined the chamber, we were a real estate company, and that was kind of what we were going to do. And we're still doing that. My wife is still selling real estate, but early in COVID with the real estate business, it really didn't slow down. We really didn't have to do much to change. Initially, when it first started, people were scared, and we had to provide masks and all that stuff. But that really didn't change much. But when we got into the summertime, and that's when I launched the speaking, training, and coaching business, and that one required a completely different skill set. It's different than what I'm used to in terms of gaining business. I'm used to having a lot of face-to-face meetings and lunches and breakfasts and things like that, and found many people weren't really willing to do that. So did a couple of things to make sure I could move the business forward. One of them was I invested a bunch of money in a video studio, because most of the things that I do are on video now. So I'm coming to you live from the studio that is formerly my man cave. In terms of marketing, Rhonda and I, we had a conversation earlier that I'm a horrible administrative assistant. I am not a detail guy, and marketing requires a lot of detail. So needed to get some help to do a lot of the marketing. So I invested in a marketing system that does all of my social media. So, the emails that you get from me about seminars or any of that stuff is all automated. I put in some high level stuff and it blasts it out to my entire database. That's probably been one of the keys to making sure that I can continue to propel the business forward. I've also had to get accustomed to doing prospecting via Facebook Messenger and LinkedIn Messenger and all that good stuff. And it's actually, I kind of like it now, because I can sit here on a conference call. So Wednesdays I dedicate to real estate. And while I'm on all of these calls for real estate, I'm sitting here in the background doing some prospecting via text message or via LinkedIn message or Facebook Messenger. So that's been kind of a neat piece to make a pivot. But like most of us, video is really what's kind of the game changer. What's really interesting is, even when we get out of this COVID mess, I don't think that's going to change. I think many businesses have found the benefits of work from home and video conferencing, and it's kind of sad because the human contact is super important. But it's definitely more productive.
Yep. Well, and Sonia, I was going to come to you next and just talk to you, let you talk a little bit about, because GVTC is such a large organization. What is the percentage that's actually going into the office right now, Sonia?
I would say probably less than 10%. So our technicians are all dispatched from home. Very few go to the actual office. We have some headcount in the office that are actually running operations. But for the most part, everybody's at home. So, and then the technicians pick up their equipment, are out in the field. There's very little interaction with them in the office. So on a daily basis, you're probably looking at about maybe 15 to 20 employees in the office. We have 225 employees. So maybe the 20 employees at the most. So go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, customer wise, do the customers, they don't really know that they're not talking to somebody sitting in the office at GVTC, or if they're talking to somebody sitting at home?
No, absolutely not. No, we transitioned. We were able to do it fairly quickly. And the customers are still receiving the services. We're still monitoring for quality, those type of things, just to ensure that the customers are getting the services they would face-to-face. We like that face-to-face, and that's something that we kind of pride ourselves on here locally. Unfortunately, we're not able to do it, but it's definitely changed the culture that we had going at GBTC. And I know that everybody, the executives especially, are missing that culture. Kind of to what Michael was saying, it changed how things are done. And hopefully we'll get back into the office. I know there's probably an opportunity for growth and an opportunity for some to work from home, maybe a couple of days a week. But the culture that we have, it's important for us to get back into the office. But we have to think of the safety of everybody, and bringing customers back in is not the right thing to do for us right now. So.
Right. One of the things they talked about was, with big groups of employees, they found that a lot of employees do perform almost better when they're at home, but then there's a certain group of employees that don't perform as well. And how do you incentivize those employees? If they hit certain benchmarks, they stay home. If not, they start coming into the office periodically so that they can get coached and trained. Where is that cutoff? Have y'all even gotten that far, Sonia, in that conversation?
Definitely important, and that is something that the management teams have been looking at, trying to find some rewards, like you're saying, doing it as a reward based. We're performance-based companies, so there's a lot of qualities that we have to check and ensure that employees are meeting, not only for the customer base and customer service, but also for personal incentives such as bonuses and those type of things at GBTC. So there's a lot that has to be factored into it. It's definitely been a learning year for us. We've grown a lot. And it's interesting, and it'll be interesting to see how we go down the path and where we end up with our employees working from home or working back in the office.
Yeah. So Jean, are you going to get all of your employees to come back in the office? You're on mute.
Okay. Yeah, I hope they all come back to work.
All come back to work.
There's not been much change for me because I do work out of the home. I've left my open house longer. It's open all through January, thinking that, maybe I can pull some people in there just to look. I don't care if they don't buy. I just want them to know the difference in Tupperware versus the plastic items that shrink up in the microwave from Walmart and HEB.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
As long as they know the difference in them, then I'm happy. And I know they will turn to a better quality in time, if not right away. But there's not been a lot of change, although I'm probably after the end of January, I'll take it down and be ready to go to market days, hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
I enjoy doing those so much, even though I probably lose more money than not because I have to pay for space.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always fun because I enjoy meeting the people, and
Yeah.
that's what gives me the customers. I think is when I meet them and they see me and get to know me. That's what brings my customers to me.
Right.
And so I miss that tremendously. Just hope for the best on that it'll turn back around.
Yeah, I think all of us have gone through some level of, I don't want to say withdrawals, but not being the social aspect, not being able to get out just whenever you want to. And if you do, it's a very limited number of people that you're seeing. So nobody, I saw somebody the other day in the grocery store and they were like, oh my God, I haven't seen you in so long. And it's weird because you haven't seen the volume of people that you're used to seeing on a regular basis. One of the other things they talked about was to avoid, doing zero-based assumptions, meaning avoiding analysis paralysis and avoiding just doing something because that's the way it's always been done, which at the chamber, we've always been well known for, well, that's the way it's been done in the past. Why would we want to change anything? So this last year has been a real eye-opener for us because we have had to readjust and redo and rethink. And I was talking to Michael earlier, trying to figure out the budget for this year is how do I budget when you don't know if you're going to be able to have an event or not have an event. And if you don't have it in person, you have it virtually, then how do you, adjust those and things like that. So it's been a real interesting exercise to look at it and say, well, yeah, we've always done the annual awards banquet. We've always done it that way. Now, how do we do it without being in person with a large group of people, and make it where people will want to attend and want to be part of it. So that's one of our things. Either Michael or Hermie, do y'all have something, which Michael, it's hard for you because you're just kind of venturing in a new field, kind of, with the real estate it's been existing, but is there anything that you found that you looked at this last year and said, okay, I've just got to stop doing this because it's not going to be beneficial, or you analyze it to death trying to figure out if it's the right thing to do?
Well, it's interesting when you mentioned that. I harken back to an article I wrote back in March when this mess first started, because everybody says, oh my gosh, we've got to change the way we lead. The sky's falling, and really we don't need to change the way we lead, because the concepts or the foundations of leadership are the same. So talking about, paralysis by analysis, that's not a COVID or a crisis thing. That's a all the time business thing. And one of the things that I read a lot about, people are saying, well, you've got to make sure you touch bases with your people all the time, and you've got to create relationships with these people all the time because they're working from home. Like, you should have been doing that for the years leading up to this mess. And you can tell the companies that have done that leading up to this mess because they haven't skipped a beat. I worked with a large cable company. They've got about 60,000 employees and transitioned all of them to home this year. And, we built processes and metrics to make sure we didn't lose any business. And I checked in with the director of sales for their commercial services over the summer, asked him how performance was, and he says they haven't performed better. The companies that have solid foundations for leadership, they're the ones that do well. In answer to your question about stopping doing anything, just like you said, I'm pretty new to the self-employment world, so I don't have a whole heck of a lot of stops. But one of the things that when I re-examined 2020 and lessons that I've learned was to make sure that I don't waste any time doing silly things or doing things that I'm not really good at, that I try to do. Good example of some of this marketing stuff. I'm not a marketer. It takes me 8 hours to learn how to do something when I could just spend $20 and have somebody do it for me. So that's probably my stop. Stop wasting time on things that I'm not great at.
Very good. Hermie or Sonia or Jean, any thoughts?
For me, I became more selective in 2020, because I had this extra time. And even though I have these automated systems that send out those birthday wishes and things like that, at the very beginning, I was picking up the phone and calling people and, how are you doing? How can I help and stuff? And I just made it a mission that I wouldn't just let the automation keep my relationships. I wanted to make sure that, that I was adding something of value to that. And so that was important for me, is just, talking to people, because, again, we didn't have these mixers. We didn't have these things that we were going to where you were meeting people. And so I just, well, what do I have? Who do I have? And what can I do with that relationship, and how can I, help foster it? And, so it's just kind of went back to basics, and I went away from the things that I thought were toxic, so there's a lot of reflection going on in 2020. And I stepped away from things that were really just draining me and my resources, and just kind of focused on the things that were being productive, whether that was an act, whether it was a group, whether it was a person. And I just kind of did that. And, I find myself in a better position now, being busier than ever, and being able to just have some peace of mind, so that's one of the good things. So I think that we needed to, in 2020, take everything, and even going into this year, take everything with a grain of salt, because we got to remove all that negativity. We need to remove all that fear. We need to just be bold still and take chances, like Mike, he just went into his own business, he was bold and he took a chance. And so we need to still be fearless and know that the good things are still coming, that we do the things daily. And not give up on our routine things, but keep adding to those and take away the things that are just driving you nuts. If it's not bringing you peace, you need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
And if it's making you happy, then you continue to do that and focus on that. And I've just fell in love with my job again. It was really strange because I was kind of getting worn out, and 2020 was just like, like it can beat me, or, I can beat it. And so I just kind of took the stance of, let me fall in love with it again. And I found ways to fall in love with it. So that's just changed my attitude. And I think if you get the right attitude, you're going to win. 2021 is going to be everybody's best year.
There you go. I know in the chamber world, we've all joked around saying this is the perfect year for us to get rid of all of those events, activities that we should have gotten rid of years ago, just because now we have a good excuse. Oh, we can't do that because of COVID. And then you just forget about it the next year and move forward.
Yeah.
Sonia, what have y'all found?
So we've had some challenges, like our only fundraiser. We were successful this year because we were fortunate that our vendors were still very supportive in what our mission is and what we do in the community. So that was a blessing. But along the way, the foundation has seen some challenges where we haven't been able to incorporate as many participants as we normally like to. Monetary wise, we were able to still help the organizations and still help the community and pour out over $500,000 into the community. But definitely a lot of challenges on the upside of wanting to be out the community as a group doing things and not being able to. From the company aspect, just like Michael said, as a telecommunications provider, we were very busy. Our business sales grew. A lot of the departments were very successful in making that happen. But there again, there was challenges as well. We lost a lot of the face-to-face interaction with customers because we weren't able to go into the house or visit with them like we normally do. So on the upside, business has been great for both the foundation and communications, but the downside is we see a lot of the same challenges that others are seeing in the community as well.
Yeah. So Jean, is there anything that you're going to stop doing or avoid doing?
Well, what I've started to do is targeting different professions to let them know how I can help them in that way. Your home life is one thing, but if you give gifts to people, and there's so many people that do, Tupperware is the best gift because they're going to use it every day. And well, like realtors, like Michael, you and your wife, it makes a great homecoming gift. And so I've gathered together the people that are in different professions and tried to target those and how's the best way I can help you with my product. So that's been a different outlook that I've gained.
Very good. Very good. Any other thoughts from any of y'all?
I have a question for Hermie. You mentioned that you went through a process of detoxifying relationships and social media and things like that. What was the decision-making process that led you to do that?
When I went through either a group or anything like that, I asked myself, how do I feel when I'm talking to these people? How does it make me feel? Is it making me feel like, I have added something, or has it devalued me? And in every activity that I did, I asked myself that question. Am I bringing something of value, or are they bringing something of value to me? Is it positive? Is it negative? Are we pushing each other down or building each other up? And so that's kind of where it was the breaking point. I'm like, I don't need this relationship. I don't need, anything that is anything but positive, why drain yourself? You know, why drain yourself of any of that negativity that is just going to, you know, just suck you dry? You know, I'm sorry, but it is what it is. And maybe it's because I'm getting older. I don't know. I don't have the patience, or, you know, how do you want to spend your time? And I think that when you do a good service, like, you know, Jean, when she sells Tupperware, I mean, she's got a great service. She's passionate about it. I don't need to know anything else other than the Jean's going to do this, and she loves it, because I know that she's passionate about it. And I'll always go to her for my Tupperware needs, always. And it was just it's still a process, you know, Michael. You know, I'm still going through that process. I'm just like, you know, just like on Facebook, you know, do these people really know you, or do they not know you? You know, do you spend time with them? Do you not spend time with them? Are you doing anything with that relationship or not? And so it's just like, I don't know.
I love it. The reason I ask is I coach people to remove any negativity from their lives. And, you know, I practice what I preach. So, you know, someone will say, what does that news thing make you feel like? I'm like, I don't watch the news. It's not that I want to be ignorant. It's just that it's so negative and it doesn't do me any good.
Well, you know what? But this is the thing, is that it's important to know what's going on. But it's also important to really be able to analyze, you know, from the right side and the left side, you know, that you're not thinking just whatever, you know, that you are trying to hear things from both sides of the story, and that you're not spewing anything that's vile or hurtful, right?
Exactly.
So, you know, you just want to keep your opinions, if you can, to yourself, because you have your own values, and everybody has their own belief systems. But, you know, it's important to know what's going on, but it's how you, I guess, support your values and things like that. Anything that comes out of your mouth, will it hurt you in any way when I say it? Because I can't take it back, you know, so I kind of have to, you know, everybody should just kind of think through that. It's like, you know, don't say it. Type it out maybe sometimes, and I delete. But you got to be just, you know, got to be more careful. I think we can't be oblivious to what's going on, because the news is the news, and things are happening. And so we have to react, especially in our industry, because of things that are happening. And it kind of trickles down, right? You know, I need your coaching so I can be a better salesperson, Michael, so I can help Jean more, so that I can buy GVTC services, so I can take part of the chamber, you know? And, I don't know. It's just, I think it's all up here, and it's in the heart. Those are the two places that I look.
I love it.
Very much so. Well, we're honored that y'all all believe in the chamber and are still didn't detoxify us in that.
You will not be cleansed. You will not be cleansed.
I promise we try to take baths all the time. We're very clean, very, very wholesome. But no, we definitely are always looking to not share negative things. On Facebook, it's, you never know who's going to respond and react to things. When we were sharing on a regular basis the Canal County updates on COVID numbers and stuff like that, we had several people that were like, stop sharing this negative stuff. And it's a hard line to walk, because we're trying to share news and information, not really trying to put a spin on it one way or the other, but just trying to share, because unfortunately there's a lot of people out in this end of the county that don't look at any news or newspapers or anything else about what's happening in Canal County. They're looking at what's happening in Bear County. And I mean, my mom's the world's worst, in that she watches the news and it's doom and gloom every day on the news. And I come home and she's looking at me going, well, you're not out in the public, you know, look at all those cases. And I said, Mom, that's in San Antonio. That's not, I mean, today's report was like, oh shoot, I forgot what it was. It was like 70 or 80 cases, but there was like 3 in the Boulevardy Spring Branch area. So, you know, our numbers, and that's what I kind of try to point out. It's like, you know, our numbers are good out here, but keep up the good work to try to keep everyone safe and healthy. But, you know, trying not to be the negative person in the group and try to find something positive in everything we do is definitely something to work for.
I think when you deliver facts versus opinion, you stay out of that game. Delivering the COVID numbers, that's not negative, that's facts.
Yeah,
when you start
but you always
talking
have
about
those
your
naysayers
opinion
on
COVID
Facebook.
and all of that good stuff, that's when people say that's negative or that's wrong.
Yeah, it's just facts. That's all I'm
I like
trying to do.
facts.
It's just the
Yeah.
facts.
Yep.
So, well, one, I want to thank y'all for joining us today. I have a couple of announcements I want to talk about, but I'm going to just share. I have 4 Schlotsky's gift cards here for $10 each that were bought in error. So y'all are going to be the benefactors of those.
Yahoo.
My person that went out to buy, I said Subway, and she came back with Schlotsky's, and I went, wrong one. So I said, that's okay, we'll use them. Since there's 4 of y'all on here, each of y'all will get a card.
Slotsky.
And I think Kristen has a number, which 3 of you on here. Sorry, Hermie. I think you've done your, I know.
It's a new year. We start over.
I'm sorry. But 2 things I want to announce is if you haven't already signed up, the Coffee with the Chamber next week, Wednesday, is going to have a gentleman from TxDOT in our region talking about the Highway 46 expansion and what other expansion things are going on in the area. So I think he would be very informational. So if y'all haven't signed up, think about that. On the 20th of January, Danny Batts, our city manager for the city of Bulverde, is going to be visiting with us. And these are both only Zoom events. But he's going to be sharing with us updates on the development and growth in the Bulverde area. So he'll give us some updated numbers on number of lots that are available, number of housing, what else is coming in, things like that. So both of them, I think, will be very informational, current topics that would be beneficial for everyone. So if y'all talk to anyone, see anyone, invite them to come join us. We're getting, I think we had about 25 or 30 that have signed up for the coffee already. And I haven't seen numbers on the power lunch lately, but the power lunch, it is $20 now, but you're getting a $15 gift card, and it has your 3 restaurant choices on there. So think about joining us for those. And then Ms. Kristen, did you have a number? All right, so if y'all want to either hold up something that has a number on it or put it in the chat, whichever one you'd like to do. Oh, and if y'all would go ahead and put your information in the chat. So I have this recorded, so we can add that. So it looks like we have numbers of 17, 7, 12. Hermie, you got your number?
I'm not doing it.
Oh, that's right, you're not doing it. So it's just the 3 of them. So what's your number, Kristen? 21. So Mr. Michael Edwards.
Yay.
Yay!
You know, I've used the same number for the entire, 9 or 12 months we've been doing this.
That's funny.
Yes. All right. So we will get with you and see how you want to do that. We have some others that we need to get caught up on. Everything with the holidays, everyone said, oh, let's do it next month, next week, next whatever. So we've got to get caught up on some others. So y'all will probably see over the next couple of weeks several of the Staying Engaged call updates. Look for some information. We are still trying to figure out what we're going to do with the annual awards banquet. We want to recognize our Ambassador of the Year, our Volunteer of the Year. Businesses, we're having a little problem because I would love to recognize all of the businesses because everyone has done such a great job this year of, adjusting and staying in business and keeping everyone, their customers satisfied and everything. So we're going to have to figure out how we're going to do that. On the 28th of January, we are going to be doing our first responder recognition. We're not sure at this point how many people we will be able to include at the facility, but we are going to have it at Hampton at the Visitor Center, an event center. We will have some representatives there from the Canal County, from the police department, and from fire and EMS. And then we're hoping we'll be able to have at least 40 people in attendance, but we'll make that call in another week or so after we see what numbers are doing and stuff. It would be a short and sweet, like kind of a reception more than a mixer as such. But we do want to, and we will be, if it's limited in attendance, then we'll definitely be doing it as a Facebook Live presentation where we recognize the different first responders. I do have a little insight for you and that will be that we will, the Kanawha County Sheriff's Department will be recognizing Deputy Luna, and he will be in attendance. He's real excited about coming, so I'm real excited about that. So love that we'll be able to recognize him and thank him for his service out here. Sheriff Reynolds told me the other day, he said, there's nothing stopping him. He is ready to he has to wait a little bit longer before he can get fitted for his prosthesis. And then he is planning to come back to the Sheriff's Department and work until he said he's old and gray. So to have a positive attitude after what he's gone through is just absolutely phenomenal. So I'm excited and looking forward to meeting him and having him join us for the evening. So that's on January 28th. We'll be sending out information on sponsorship opportunities for power lunches and coffees and mixers very soon. In March, we're going to be hosting a new event. It is going to be a sporting clay shoot event. Kristen and we met this morning with some of the committee, and we've got to finalize some stuff on the sponsorship levels and on the flyer. Once we get that done, probably Monday or Tuesday next week, we'll blast that out to everybody. There's going to be opportunities there from $150 up to $5,000. So all different levels, all different things that we can do for that event. It will be on March 25th, which would have been our mixer. So everyone, even if you're not participating in the clay shoot, will be invited out to Goodwill Ranch, which is off of 311, for the mixer, which they'll be doing the award ceremony for the clay shoot at the same time. So there should be, and it's all outdoors, so it should be a nice group of people that will spread out as much as we can so that everyone can feel comfortable about it. So really looking forward to that. Any other thoughts that anyone would like to share? We're a little early today, but since I couldn't get video to work. Yes, sir?
The government affairs meeting on Tuesday, is that face-to-face or virtual?
I'm planning on it being face-to-face.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a small enough group where I think we can do.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have a date for ambassador meeting?
I'm looking, Kelly just sent me something. Let me see what it is. Nope, we're looking at next Thursday. I need to confirm. Kelly was trying to figure out, school is out on Friday for whatever reason. We're taking a long weekend from MLK Day, I guess. And so she was trying to figure out if she was leaving town on Thursday afternoon or not. So, because she's really trying to do an evening event, like a dinner, or at least heavy appetizer somewhere so that they can roll out some information about the 2021 year and announce some things. So I will get with her shortly and we'll get that out to y'all this afternoon. All right, guys. Sonia, anything else? What is the next event for the foundation? Are y'all trying to hold a golf tournament this year or not?
Well, our golf tournament has been scheduled for April 20th, but with things not changing here rapidly, I'm looking for new dates. So as of right now, it's April 20th, but more than likely we're going to move it to the fall.
Okay, well, don't schedule it for October 18th. That's our golf tournament.
October 18th. Okay, I'm looking at early October. Last year we had postponed our May event for October, and it was like October 6th or 7th. And so I'm looking for probably about the same date.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Michael, when is your next speaker event? You've got a couple of speaker events going on.
Yeah, so I've got a couple cool things going on. Next Tuesday at, let's see here. It starts at 8:30. That's the kickoff of a 5-week mastermind. And basically, it's kind of like a book club where we read through this week. This one is John Maxwell's 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth. And we talk through it. And it's a really neat experience. On the last one that I did on becoming a person of influence, I had people all over the world on this thing. So we got to discuss leadership from different parts of the world and cultures. So that's coming up on the 12th, and then on the should have been a little bit more prepared. 17th.
Put you on the spot there.
Yeah, I'm looking for the webinar that I'm doing on building a high performance team. I'm gonna have to pull up my website. How sad is that? Or I can pull up the chamber website and see it. Events. Yeah, so January 19th at 10 o'clock a.m. Is building a high performance culture, and that kind of is the final one. I've done 4 webinars so far. One of them is on goal setting. One of them is on discovering your core values. One of them was on doing a life audit. Last night, thank you for joining, Hermie. I did one on discovering your why, which is about purpose. And this last one is kind of putting all of the pieces together to build the culture. So that's 10 o'clock. And you can go to my website, edwardsgrouptx.com, and register for all those.
Very good. Well, thank you, Michael.
My pleasure.
Anything else anyone wants to share? Awesome. Well, thank you all for joining us today. At this point, we'll see. We might do it again in February. The first Friday of the month is the only week that we don't have an event going on. So it would be that first, would be February 5th, would be the next call.
I
And
vote
we'll
do
see.
it.
Huh?
I vote do it.
Do it. All right. We'll see. Well, thank you all very much. I love the discussion today, and we will put it out there. I'm going to send y'all the speaker. That's the link of what was supposed to be today. And just, they're a little corny at the beginning and during the middle, but I loved, because Sonia, you would have loved this. He was talking about, well, I could do these webinars out from my yacht out in the Caribbean. And they were like, yes, if you can get good reception out there and internet access. And I was like, we'll have to figure that one out. Yeah, in the middle of the ocean, I don't know about getting good Wi-Fi, but maybe.
That's funny.
Yeah, so he talks about that several times, it's like going, yeah, you can get it out there, and I can be out on my boat. One of them's older. He references several times being a baby boomer, and the other guy was like, he keeps saying we, but this we is a proud Gen X, so, cut the baby boomer stuff. So anyways, I'll send that out so that y'all can hear what it was supposed to be about today, and we will see y'all on the 5th, if not before. Thank y'all for joining us.
Thank you, Rhonda.
Rhonda,
Have a wonderful
appreciate you.
weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.